Like, what the hell is going on, y'all? R. Kelly found guilty in all counts in trafficking, in S trafficking trial. R. Kelly, it is not going good for you. Not only are they talking about you are negative 2 million in the hole and you owe $1.9 million to the IRS. And the one look, the one thing you don't want to do, one thing you don't want is to owe the IRS money. So not only R. Kelly, you owe $1.9 million to the IRS, and you know Uncle Sam is gonna come for their coins. They gonna come for their money. You are negative $2 million. You went from being the $100 million producing music for so many celebrities, right? You went from being worth $100 million to being negative 2 million, owing the IRS 1.9 million. Uncle Sam gonna come for their money. New York, you got cases all over the place. You look, R. Kelly's situation is way worse than any Michael Jackson situation, and I don't understand why people ish on Michael Jackson harder, and he was found innocent. But R. Kelly, yeah, it is. It's super sad, y'all. Like for real, it is sad. Look, this is like like I wasn't even planning to come on here, but damn, he's done. This man is done. Okay, R. Kelly was found guilty of abusing women, boys, and girls for decades, capping the 90s R&B singer stunning fall from grace. The I Believe I Can Fly 54-year-old was convicted of all 9 counts, including racketeering and violations of the Mann Act, which prohibits the transport of any woman or girl across state lines for any immoral purposes, y'all. He faces life in prison. Do you believe this? I like this is crazy, Mr. Step. Mr. Step in the name of love. Oh my gosh! And I don't want to think about what these like what his songs meant. What his songs mean and stuff. Oh my gosh, y'all! Look at this man. Let me share this screen real quick so y'all can see. It's just sad. Is okay? Is this is it in here? Yeah, it's in here. Okay, look at this. This is just like how. Look at this man. This man at one point. This man at this. He was making songs. I believe I could fly, and I wish. You're making music for Celine Dion, but we been knew this man was problematic, and a lot of people, a lot of black folks in the black community, here we go again about things that we need to face. For so long, we have allowed these uncles, cousins, people, that we know are full on pedos up in our family, to remain in the family. We know they done something, touched somebody, and we still allow them at the damn Christmas dinner and the Thanksgiving and at birthday parties. We know what they is. We just like, our parents, uncles, and our aunts and stuff used to tell them, just make sure you don't be in the room by yourself with that mofo. You know how he is. This man should have been canceled from the time he married Aaliyah and allegedly got Aaliyah pregnant. He was in his 20s. Aaliyah was 15 years old. But we continue to promote his music and let him in the community and keep him in the community and put him on a pedestal and give him money and go to his concerts. Then the video came out. Remember that? Everybody remember that VHS tape? Okay, it came out. It showed him on there. He was with a 14-year-old girl, y'all. 14-year-old. And we believed the Gerby Gerb when he said, "That's not me, that's my brother." But we all knew that was him, man. We all knew that was R. Kelly in that video with that 14-year-old child and doing what he did. And people in the hip hop community continued to work with this man. It is 2021. It is well established what this man is about at this point. And in 2021, we have Champagne Papi, Drake, and on his album, giving a credit to the Pied Piper, R. Kelly. I don't understand why we allow, I don't know what's going on with our society that we are cool with these pedos, these abusers, these we know known criminals living among us, terrorizing our communities, terrorizing our kids. I don't understand why we tolerate the issue we tolerate, but at a certain point it got to stop. And you know what? The court system is saying enough is enough, and they are coming and they are finally scooping this man up. Okay? From the beginning of the month-long trial in the federal courthouse in downtown Brooklyn, prosecutors painted Kelly, 54, as a predator. Okay? They painted this man as a predator. I hope nobody turns against you for saying this. I don't care. That's the thing. When you live fearless, and I 100% now live a fearless lifestyle. I live a fearless lifestyle. I no longer care what anybody thinks about me or who turns against me. I do not care. Because at the end of the day, I have to stand for something. I have to stand for my morals. I have to stand for my beliefs, and I can't waver from that anymore. So yeah, I hope nobody, people who turn against me, oh well, goodbye, goodbye. I don't want anybody standing next to me or supporting me who actually are cool with this man being a pedo and doing what he did to young boys and young girls. Like, it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting what he did. Okay? Finally, yes, Queen Enchanted. Yes, indeed. Finally, yes. Stacy, it's good to see you, Stacy. I miss your beautiful face. It's good to see you, Stacy. She is so gorgeous, y'all. I just absolutely love your personality. I'm glad to see you back. I missed you. Oh, yes. Okay. Andrew Mack. Hey, you still got that picture of the canoe up, huh? Maybe I'm alone here, but I feel compassion for him. Look, I feel compassion for R. Kelly in the sense of he was abused himself. He was abused by his own family. This is documented that he was abused by his family. Him and his brother were abused by family members. So I understand that. But you go and get help. You go and get therapy. If you've been abused, you go and get therapy. You go and get help. You don't continue the cycle and go out there and abuse young girls and young boys that are 15 years old. I feel compassion for the little boy that R. Kelly was when he, or the young man that he was when he got abused by his family. I feel sorry for him in that sense. But he went out there and he continued to abuse other people. Okay? It's just like, these serial killers and these people, I understand, like, I feel sorry for serial killers too, because at the end of the day, they are grown up in this particular environment that breeds their they've been in abuse. A lot of these serial killers and people that are murdered, they're in their environments that were very abusive. Family, their mother or somebody was on drugs. They've been abused. They've been passed around by family, and it bred in them this hatred and this anger, and it made them do what they did. I feel sorry for those children who've been through that, and then they grow up to be these killers. I feel sorry for them. Yes, I do. I feel sorry for the child that their innocence that got ruined and destroyed and made them the monsters they are. Just like I feel sorry for R. Kelly and his brother, who they were both abused when they were younger. I feel sorry for their younger selves, but the grown men that they became and the monsters they became, I do not feel sorry for that. I don't feel sorry for them. Okay, I do not feel sorry for them. And I honestly what I want next is the enablers, the people that helped him, the people that brought these young girls to R. Kelly, where he had them in these studios half undressed to make these songs half on a baby and all of these songs. I want them to be brought into court also. Bring their asses up in court because they enabled this. These parents who allowed their kids to be sent to R. Kelly, they need their asses handed to up in court. Okay, you caused your child to lose their innocence. Look at these two young ladies that are out here right now. Their brains is gone. Okay, they brains is gone. They've been in this R. Kelly cult camp for so long that you can't even trust the words that be coming out their mouth. How many people did he ruin? How many kids, how many young men and boys, like how many boys and girls did he ruin and get pregnant, give STDs to? Because keep in mind, this man has STDs. So not only he was ruining these children's lives, he was also passing on STDs to these children too. He's a monster in the truest sense. He is a monster. And anybody who feels compassion for this man in his current state, I mean him now, it's crazy. I feel for him as his younger self, but I do not feel for him at this point now. No, he's a monster. Yes, get all the enabling monsters. They need to get them too because these enablers did. R. Kelly blackmailed these people. Okay, he blackmailed these people, but some of them willingly did videos with these minors and did acts with these minors, so they're on video. So there are other adults in this pedo, R. Kelly cult. There's more of them. Round their asses all up, get the videos, look through them, and identify the people in the videos and get them put behind bars too, and get them to pay as well. And honestly, I got a question for all my Ravens and everybody who's in the building right now. Thank you for coming in and tuning in because y'all know this is an improv. This is not a plan live. But I really want to know, honestly, should the record label that kept funding this monster be held accountable too? Because if it wasn't for the record company giving this man money, promoting his music, he wouldn't have been able to continue to be the monster he is and get all these young girls and boys and take their innocence and give them STDs and get them pregnant, ruin their lives. Should the record company that sponsored this man and put his music out be held responsible too? Along with all of the enablers that was involved over the years. And I mean, let's go back all the way to the day of Aaliyah, all the way to 2021. We need to gather up all of these enablers, all of them. Okay? Downtown Brooklyn prosecutor painted Kelly, 54 years old, as a predator. That's what they have him listed as, a damn predator who used his fame and his employees to prey on young victims. This case is not about a celebrity who likes to party a lot. The assistant U.S. Attorney Maria Cruz said in her opening statement last month. This case is about a predator, she said. To prove the racketeering charge against him, prosecutors showed the jurors, how Kelly used a network of friends and employees in his inner circle to transport his victims across state lines, control their actions, and facilitate the S abuse. Prosecutors from the Eastern District of New York then called a parade of witnesses who testified about the abuse the disgraced singer subjected them to. He's guilty of racketeering. I'm trying to not use certain words. That means he was the ringleader. Yeah, the music industry of the industry of music is demonic. Most are, yeah, they are. A lot of them are, and a lot of them are. It's a mixture of a lot. It's a mixture of satanic rituals. It's a mixture of, honestly, I do not want to go into it because I remember there was a person, there was a lady that was talking out about the music industry, talking about the pedos, talking about the rituals that were going on. She was really reporting on all the rituals and reporting on how some of these people, these young victims would disappear and they would never be seen again. She would talk about all the underhand dealings and stuff and the pacts made and how some of these artists were traded like they were traded like gum back and forth between, these record companies and stuff. And I think one of her last videos she made, she was saying that she felt like she was being stalked. And she felt like her, not only she felt like she was being stalked, but she also felt like her phone was being tapped. So yeah, I don't want no parts of that water. I don't want no parts of it, so I don't say as much. Okay, thank you for the cash app. I appreciate it. So yeah, this is no joke. Wow, I can't believe I just ran into this news. Yeah, this is it. This is it for him. Let me see right here. So I'm going to leave it on his picture because there's more stuff that I want to talk about with this man. So yeah, I'm sharing your video. Thank you, I appreciate it. Oh yeah. All right. He had a whole cult and he couldn't do it by himself. No, he didn't. Why didn't our justice system stop him a long time ago? These allegations has been out there about R. Kelly since my ass was a young teenager. Yeah, it was. but nobody cared. Nobody cared because you know what? We didn't. Nobody. I'm sad to say, but it had to come like the Black Lives Matter movement, the Me Too movement. You know, the Good Old Boys Club. Like things had to. Back then, those things were not in place. Like media wasn't as strong, and social media wasn't as strong back in those days. In the '90s, we you got to keep in mind the computer and Google and all of this just started like when did the Google and stuff start in the '90s, early 2000 something. Yeah, like I remember using AOL in 19. What was it? AOL was around in what 97, 96, and basically there wasn't much you could look at the internet back then. So yeah, by the time the whole R. Kelly thing, the internet was still in its infancy. Like we were like hit the R. Kelly tape was on a VH tape. It wasn't even on a DVD. It wasn't on no CD. It was on a VHS tape. You know, okay, one of the box players. So the internet, Twitter wasn't around, Instagram wasn't around, social media wasn't what it was. So I believe, and the Me Too movement wasn't around, and the rights for children and women weren't as strong back in the day as they are today. Laws have changed, views have changed. Women have, have campaigned for the rights for themselves and for children to protect children. So there have been more laws, been put in place since that time, and that's why R. Kelly was allowed to slide through the cracks. But now, with the whole in recent years with the Me Too movement and everything else that's been going on, he can no longer slide. And this is why he is now being caught up. And this is why he is now facing his punishment. Okay, the music industry, yeah, it is demonic. It's it is. You seem highly upset, but yes, I understand. I'm not highly upset. I'm disgusted. He still be doing the same thing. Hey, little bean, how are you? It's good to see you, little bean. I remember watching that tape in a barbershop as a teenager. Yes, barbershops were showing his tape. No one cared then, even though everyone knew. And that was a thing too, because back then, we didn't know nothing about pedo and what pedo is and all of that other, what all of that. We didn't know none of that. Seriously, we didn't know nothing. The black community and pedo and all of this stuff. We weren't even using those terms back in the day. I mean, we were so stupid back in the day that we were watching. I mean, I didn't watch it, but people were watching that tape of R. Kelly and that 14-year-old child, not even knowing that by watching it, they were watching illegal porn, illegal child porn. They didn't know. Nobody knew, but they were watching it, laughing, commenting, all kind of ish, and nobody knew that it was child porn. Back then in the '90s, ain't nobody was thinking about no, it was child. Nobody was thinking that. No, until recently, as years passed, then was like, oh, yeah, what we were watching was something that should not have been watched. Oh, yeah. People were watching it in the barber shop, the beauty shop. I mean, that tape was selling, the bootleggers were selling them tapes like it was hotcakes back in the day. Mm-hmm. You're right. Wrong road, wrong road. Yeah. Yes, we did. Sorry, Raven. We knew what it was. We just ignored and condoned it. Yeah, a lot of them did. You're right. A lot of them did. Good afternoon, Raven Chat, Raven Chat and fam. How you doing? When you think about it, it's weird that we see Black women and girls who are survivors of SA receive justice, especially from powerful men. This has to be a victorious moment for them. Yes, indeed. And you know what's so crazy? People out here will be protesting, crying, boo-hooing, thinking that they done lost their son. They're gonna be out there crying, R. Kelly, no, save R. Kelly, free R. Kelly, let R. Kelly go. That man ain't do nothing. He ain't do nothing but ruin a whole bunch of boys and girls' lives and gave them STDs and got them pregnant and mind effed them, okay, into a cult like thinking. That's what he did. So what are you trying to free? Free him so he could continue messing around with our children and messing up their minds and giving them a disease that's going to ruin their life for the rest of their lives. Give them a gift that keeps giving. This man is damaged. He this is another reminder of damaged people. Instead of getting therapy, they continue to damage other people. The same ish that goes on YouTube all the time with these damaged people that gain cult followings. Another, just damaged people continuing to damage other people. We need to start canceling these people and say, look, if you don't get therapy, we ain't effing with you no more. Hello. Hey, Darlene. How are you? You are so busy. I mean, girl, you is everywhere. I don't know how you got time. Like, how do you do this? Like, your sneakers, you must have like the best brand of Nikes because you have to like rip and run through these YouTube streets. I tell you. How are you? It's good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. I'm gonna have to make you just an honorary Raven. Hey, hi, Queen of the Cheesecake. How are you doing? Marinated. I'm over here watching your live. You made an hour ago instead of in here. Hey, y'all. Oh, ooh, I love the hearts. Thank you. I appreciate the hearts. I do. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the Goddess Raven. Well, I don't need to, do that. Hi, Tina. Yes. Hi. How are you? Hello, family. Dr. Lashonda. How are you? It's good to see so many new faces up in the building, as well as old faces. Trev, I miss you, Trev. I miss you, Andrew Mack. Low key, Miss Magic. It's so good to see every last one of y'all up in here. I'm gonna have to take my time and go back up and go through the comments. But yeah, the first, the first to take the stand was accuser. I don't Miss Pace, who said Kelly repeatedly had relations with her over the course of several months after the two exchanged numbers at a party at the singer's suburban Chicago mansion when she was under 18. During their last encounter, Kelly, whose full name is Robert Kelly, allegedly became enraged at Pace because she was texting on her cell phone and did not address him when he walked into the room she was in. Kelly smacked her in the face and forced her to perform on him after berating her, she said in court. What do you think that's going to do to that young lady mentally? What do you think that's going to do to her mentally with her, all because she did not acknowledge him as soon as he entered the room? This is the type of monster he became. He was so used to his enablers and so used to his power over these young minor women and boys that he was abusive. and got away with this. That girl is going to need therapy. During her testimony, she read from a journal, at times pausing to wipe away tears. Child, it's hot out there in these streets. Yeah, it is. I think he really does have a problem. And what's crazy is he's probably tried to do the same stuff in prison. Yeah, he ain't gonna try that ish in prison, D. I'm sorry to tell you that. He is not doing that in prison because apparently they, in prison, they do not play with pedos, okay? They already tried to shank this man up in prison. All right, they already tried to shank him. The one thing that in prison they do not tolerate, they don't mind you being a murderer. In prison, you cool all day, every day. If you're a murderer, they don't care. The one thing they don't tolerate is you're a child murderer. You have messed with children. You have done anything in any kind of way to a child. You've done anything to a pregnant woman. And even some acts to women, they are not tolerant to, and they will kill you. So yeah, they're not going to allow him to continue his ways in prison. He has to be kept separately because they will kill this man. They do not take kindly to pedos, especially pedos that are abusing, slapping, all that kind of issue. Heck no. That's right. Don't like our people and touching on babies. They don't. There are gang members that will kill this man. He got to be careful. I went to Rob's house and he called me a bitch. He said I was a silly bitch. He slapped me 3 times and said if I lied to him again, it's not going to be an open hand next time. Let that sink in. I went to Rob's house and he called me a bitch. He said I was a silly bitch. This is the mental verbal abuse that he was doing to these young ladies. Slapping her in her face 3 times. Like, this ain't your child that you slapping. And actually threatened her and said, next time, it ain't going to be with an open hand. He spit in my face and mouth, she said. He choked me during an argument. I had an encounter with him. I had mouth game with him. I went home and confessed. Pace said Kelly relieved himself on her face. He busted on her face and said she used her Aeropostale to wipe the semen off of her face. Kelly's attorney sought to cast Pace and his other accusers as hysterical fans who were obsessed with Kelly and concocted stories about him because he refused their advances. One of his victims was the R&B singer Aaliyah, who Kelly illegally wed in a Chicago hotel room in 1994 when she was only 15 years old. For the couple to move forward, Kelly relied on his entourage, the prosecutor showed. A former tour manager for Kelly testified in August that he bribed a Chicago area welfare office employee. They need to come grab that person up to make a fake ID for Aaliyah, which listed her age as 18. Kelly at the time was 27 years old. That's a grown-ass man. Prosecutors alleged Kelly married Aaliyah, who later died in a plane crash at the age of 22 in an attempt to dodge criminal charges for having an encounter with a minor and to block her from testifying against him about the abuse. Another witness at the trial, a former backup dancer, identified as Angela, told jurors that she witnessed Kelly performing a act on Aaliyah when she was only 13 to 14 years old on a bus they were traveling on. Defense attorneys called several witnesses as the trial wound down, relying on Kelly's employees and other people whose careers were closely tethered to the former star to cast him in a more positive light. One defense witness, music consultant Julius Darrington, testified he worked with Kelly for several years prior to his arrest and did not see Kelly abuse women while he worked with him in the Chicago studio and while they traveled across the country for shows. Under cross examination, Darrington said he had no knowledge of what Kelly did while he was not with them. Kelly, who refused to take the stand and testify in his own defense at the trial, faces more criminal charges outside of New York. He was charged by the state prosecutors in also Minnesota with engaging in prostitution with a minor and by federal prosecutors in Illinois for child videos and obstruction. My God. My God, I don't believe that this. This is too much. This is too much. Look at this man. He better not sing none of his songs in jail. Oh, hell no, right? Right. So I'm going to go back up and see if I can read all your comments. I'm not worried about it. Pepsi Man said, finally. Mm-hmm. Pepsi Man says, screw Kells. Mm-hmm. Anyone who supports R. Kelly is sick. I agree. All of the heart. She is. Okay, glad I caught you. I missed you too, gorgeous. Yeah, I miss you a lot. I knew Rob before his fame. Really, Stacey? You knew him before his fame? Oh my gosh, this man is just effed up in the head. Predators with children get no love or compassion from me. I feel you. Sure, you got to break the cycle. And the cycle he didn't break it. He continued on with it, and it's sad. Those that were violent from him need the compassion and help the most. Yeah, they do. People enabled him when they should have encouraged him to get help. Exactly. Exactly. Once he got famous, he wanted me to listen to Aaliyah's demo. When he married her, I was done with him. Oh my gosh. I don't blame you for being done with him, but once he got married to her, unbelievable. Wrong Road said, lock them all up. I agree. Parents should be held accountable. I agree. They should be. Yes, get all the enabling monsters. I agree. He still be going to say no. He won't. They're gonna be a rap. The industry of music, yeah, it's basically what it is. Okay, so shared on my Facebook page. Thank you, I appreciate that. Unbelievable. It's good to see all of y'all up in the building. Let me see. I even remember some of my classmates being dropped off at school by older guys and didn't think much of that. Yeah, back in the day, in the 90s, a lot of young ladies were, if you were 16 years old, it was not shocking to see you dating somebody 18 or 20 years old. If you were 17, it wasn't shocking to see you dating somebody that was in college already. I mean, it was that was the times back in the days. Back in the days, people were dating, teenagers were dating adults. I mean, because back in the day, let's think about this. Just in the 70s, the 50s, back in the day, there were 15-year-old girls that were getting married to, people in their 20s and 30s. That was going on. Not to say that that was good, but I'm just telling you what the deal is. Okay. Good to hear you. You're sounding really good. Thank you. Where's the StreamYard link? Jetfly leak stepper. Um, yeah, I really don't have a link. I'm now thinking of all the things Aaliyah was probably going through privately and alone. She didn't get the chance to tell her story either. No, she didn't. My mom got married at 15 and my dad was 19. Exactly. Those were the times back in the day. Those were those times. But now, opinions change, times change, so it's very different now. But I wanted to include that, to show that those things did occur. Like back in the day, people, were marrying younger, were marrying older, and it was fine back then. Look, it's a new damn day, and it's not acceptable anymore. We now realize it's done change. And it was crazy that we allowed, like back in the day, kids, when you were in high school, you were dating people in college. New York finest, where the heck you been? Hey Raven, wow, he's never getting out. I'm sure he's on suicide watch. No, he's never getting out ever. He's not. It's pretty much over for him. It is. It is definitely over for him. Hey y'all, are y'all loving the Goddess Raven show? Okay, I don't need to read this. That's for everybody else marinated. Yeah. Yeah, and thank you, low key. Yeah, I am sounding a lot better. I'm telling you, every day I improve a little bit every day, and I'm counting my blessings. I had my doctor's appointment earlier today, and everything's going good. Oh my gosh, the amount of questions they have to ask you, jeez. But I'm doing good. I just got to make sure I take like a cocktail of pills every day, but I'm good. So y'all, I'm not staying up here too long. I think 40, 43, 45 minutes to 50 minutes is pretty much good. I ain't trying to stay on here too long now. But my husband didn't want to date me back when I was 21 and he was 32. We have been married for 23 years now. I hear you. Because at 21, I understand why he didn't want to marry you at 21 because he's thinking, at 32, he done lived his life. So he's thinking like, at 21, you still got some exploring to do. You still got some dating other people to do, making some mistakes and dating the wrong guy and all of that and living your life and traveling before, being with him. So I get it. Why he didn't want to, date you. I already do. I get it. That's great to know, Raven. Happy you're feeling better. I am very happy too. I tell you, I prayed on this and I'm thankful for every Raven that prayed on it too with me. Oh, Raven, good to hear. Yes, definitely. So, y'all, yes. Yes, but I'm an old soul. Oh, you're one of those old souls. Oh, boy. Oh, my gosh. wise beyond their years. I'm definitely not one of the old. I don't think I'm an old soul. Oh, jeez. I kind of wish I was an old soul, but I'm not. But let me get my ass up out of here. I want to say thank you for the chocolate, babe, and thank you to Stacy Nelson also for sharing my link. I appreciate my live. I really appreciate that. Low key, I appreciate you for tuning in. Marinate Camera, thank you. I really appreciate it. Miss Magic, Andrew Mack, where your ass have been? Like I'm kind of like feeling a certain type of way because you claim Andrew that you are a loyal, you're a Raven, but I don't be seeing you. Where you be at? I guess he be busting hump, trying to earn them coins. Got to get his work on. So I get it, and I get it. New York finest, girl, where you been? Been ripping and running these YouTube streets, huh? Yes, low key. Oh yeah, have a blessed day, love. You too. And I will definitely be back on later. I don't see you when I'm on, Rave. What the heck do you mean? I be on. Okay, you know what? Oh my goodness. What I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna be coming up with a schedule, okay? I'm gonna be coming up with a schedule that with a decent hours so that y'all could catch me. So every day I might do a live around 4 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon. I might have a live in the morning at 10 a.m. for the morning people that go to work. And I might have a live in the evening for people that are coming home cooking. And then I might have a late night live at 10. So I might be going live 3 times a day yeah, I'm gonna work this out. Okay, I'm gonna work it out. Oh, I'm gonna work it out. Low key said later, guys. Later to you too. You know us Ravens be track running the streets, y'all do. Why is it that when black men have lots of money and fame, they lose it when they get older? That's not true because let's look at this. Barry Gordon, he still got his money, y'all. Lionel Richie, he still got his money, y'all. Michael Jackson, he died having money. People want to say he was broke. He wasn't broke. He died with money. Stevie Wonder, he got money, y'all. Eddie Murphy, he got money. Eddie Murphy got money. The Wayans brothers, all them motherfuckers got money, y'all. Okay, who else you want to go? Who else you want to go with? Martin Lawrence, he got money. Will Smith, he got money. Okay, Eddie Murphy got 10 damn kids, y'all. 10 kids. Okay, he still got his money. All these men, and Barry Gordon, look how long Barry Gordon been around, and he still got his money. Lionel Richie, old ass, got his money still. Paul Mooney, I think he died with some money. He ain't died broke, because I damn sure didn't see no raise a funeral fund for his ass. Denzel, know he got some money. Yep, come on. These people still got their money. There's a lot of people up in the game that still got their money. But the ones that don't have their money is usually the ones that sold their soul, did shady dealings, back in the day, like Sam Cooke's day, yeah, they were doing them kind of shady deals where people were dying with their money. They were stealing. Record industries were stealing their money, stealing Sam Cooke, masters and all that. Different day. Who else I was about to say? I was about to say somebody. Look at Prince. Prince died in his 50s, and he died with his coins. He had his coins still. Okay, he could have lived, if they didn't put fentanyl up in his ish. Telling you, this fentanyl ish is no joke out here, y'all. Mm, mm, mm. The rappers, yes, the rappers are the ones who usually go broke in their senior years. They go broke. I'm gonna give you the tea. The record industry and the music industry do not want to pay rappers their higher rates. Okay, this is how it goes. It's very simple. If you notice with Justin Timberlake and all these other artists, they're not considered old school or old school pop acts or anything like that. Only in the black community, only in black music, hip hop and R&B are there old school and new school. In every other genre of music, those terms are not used. Those people in the other industries are allowed to keep climbing, making music, doing tours, generating money, all of that. But you're gonna have to pay these people higher rates because they're classic acts. They're classic. They've got awards. So you have to pay them more money. It's just like movie industry. Like these, if these actors win Emmys and they get nominated and they get Oscars, they command a higher rate of money. It's the same thing with the music industry. You're gonna have to pay these rappers and everything higher rates. They're gonna demand more money. Well, if we could just continue to churn out new artists, new artists, new artists, then you don't have to continue to pay these rates. You don't have to keep paying their insurance. You don't have to pay for when these artists start breaking down all the their hospital bills and everything else that's required with them to take care of them. You could just push them to a side and start with a fresh, 20 something year old who has a big media following. That's it. So that's how it is. We, as the community, have to say, we want to hear Keith Sweat. We want to hear Gladys Knight. We want to hear, Angela Winbush. We want to hear Isley Brothers. We want to hear Big Daddy Kane up there with D Nice and Dougie Fresh and Monifa and all of these artists. And we need to start saying, put these tours together and so we can support them. We control that. We can change the narrative and take them out of that old school category. But, look, it's a lot of issues with this, okay? Oh, Lord. Angie Mac rappers, they usually go broke. Yeah, well, they go broke because of the advances. They go broke because they're spending $250-something thousand on jewelry that ain't worth ish once they put it around their neck. They live beyond their means. You know who? There's a clip on this whole situation. T-Pain did an interview with one of the Wild Boys, Steve-O, and he talked about how the tax people and the people in his handlers, they knew he was going broke, and they didn't tell him he was going broke. So they continued to let him spend and spend, knowing full well he was going broke because they wanted to keep their jobs. And he was saying that even the people that were around him that were in the industry that were there before him, they were telling him, oh, the music will last forever. You'll always be famous. You'll always be popping. So spend your money. You'll be fine. You'll always be making hits. And that's how he went broke. Yeah. When they got that phone call and they said there was nothing left. Yeah. So that's my little, tidbit that I want to add to that the little situation with why people go broke and what's going on with their money and stuff. But I love you all. I got to get up out of here. That whole R. Kelly issue is just giving me a headache. Thinking about how what he did to these people. Oh my God, it's just disgusting. Oh my God, I can never listen to his music ever again. I can't. Later, Raven. Later, Andrew. One of these days, Andrew Mack. When are you gonna actually let me hear your voice? One of these days, Andrew Mack. When are you gonna let me hear your voice one of these? Or when are you gonna actually show who you? Matter of fact, I don't even want to see who you are. But when you gonna actually? I'd like to hear the voice one of these days. Like seriously. One of these days, I tell you, one of these days, I shall hear his voice. Okay, I love you all, but I got to go. Okay, I got a beef patty with cocoa bread and color champagne with my name on it. Doesn't that sound tasty? Mm, mm. What you LOLing me for, Andrew? Come on now. One of these days, I gotta hear the voice. I got to hear the voice. One of these days, I tell you, when we have a mood, oh wait, a mood meeting, we're having a mod meeting. I'm gonna try for Saturday. Okay, so I'm gonna try and have that mod meeting on Saturday. On that note, I got to go. I'll inbox you. Oh gosh. I will inbox you definitely on when the mod meeting is, and I will make sure you got the link. On that note, I am out. I got to go. Got to go. One of these days, I tell you, Andrew Mack, I'll tell you, one of these damn days, I got to go. Ravens, we are out.